World War I, a name synonymous with unimaginable carnage. The war that was supposed to end all wars, yet it only paved the way for more conflict. Millions perished in the trenches, victims of a conflict as brutal as it was stagnant. The soldiers faced relentless artillery bombardments, gas attacks, and the ever-present threat of disease. But what if it could have been different? What if the strategies and decisions made had taken another path? What if a quicker, less devastating path to peace existed? Imagine a scenario where diplomacy triumphed over the relentless march of war. This is the story of a forgotten plan, a Greek proposal that could have reshaped the course of the Great War. Greece, a nation often overlooked in the grand narratives of World War I, had a unique perspective and a potential solution. In the annals of history, we often find ourselves pondering the what-ifs. These questions lead us to explore the depths of human decision-making and the fragile nature of our past. What if pivotal decisions had gone another way? What if the leaders of the time had chosen diplomacy over destruction? Would the world we know be drastically different, or would the currents of time have led us to a similar present? These are the questions that historians and enthusiasts of alternate history grapple with. Such a question hangs over the events of 1915, a year into the agonizing stalemate of World War I, the year when the world stood on the brink and the decisions made could have altered the course of history forever. The Greek proposal, though largely forgotten, was a beacon of hope amidst the darkness. It suggested a different approach, one that could have saved countless lives and changed the trajectory of the war. As we delve into this untold story, we uncover the complexities and the potential of what might have been. Join us as we explore this fascinating chapter of history, where the possibilities were as vast as the consequences. The Ottoman Empire, once a formidable power, had entered the 20th century, weakened and fractured. This empire, which had stood for centuries as a dominant force in the region, was now struggling to maintain its grip on its vast territories. The internal strife, economic difficulties, and the rise of nationalist movements within its borders had all contributed to its decline. Referred to as the sick man of Europe, its vast territories, stretching across Southeast Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East, became a tempting prize for ambitious powers. European nations, eyeing the weakening empire, saw opportunities to expand their own influence and control. The strategic locations and rich resources of the Ottoman lands made them highly desirable. The empire's entry into World War I, on the side of the Central Powers, further destabilized an already volatile region. Aligning with Germany and Austria-Hungary, the Ottomans hoped to regain some of their lost prestige and territory. However, this decision would lead to further complications and challenges on the battlefield.
As the war raged, the Ottoman Empire's strategic importance became increasingly apparent. The empire's control over key geographical locations, such as the Dardanelles and the Middle Eastern oil fields, made it a critical player in the conflict. Both the Allies and the Central Powers recognized the significance of these areas. Control of the Dardanelles, a narrow strait connecting the Black Sea to the Mediterranean, was crucial for Russia, a key Allied power. The strait was a vital maritime route for the Russian Empire, allowing it to receive supplies and maintain its war effort. The Ottomans' control of this passage posed a significant threat to the Allies. Recognizing this, the British and French launched the disastrous Gallipoli campaign in 1915, aiming to capture Constantinople and knock the Ottomans out of the war. The campaign, marked by fierce fighting and heavy casualties, ultimately failed to achieve its objectives. The Gallipoli campaign became a symbol of the challenges and complexities of the war, highlighting the difficulties of overcoming the Ottoman defenses and the harsh realities of trench warfare.
Amidst the chaos and bloodshed of World War I, a daring proposal emerged from an unexpected source: Greece. The world was engulfed in a conflict that seemed to have no end, with nations locked in a deadly struggle for dominance. Amidst this turmoil, Greece, a nation with its own complex history and strategic interests, saw an opportunity to alter the course of the war and secure its own future. In a move that could have dramatically altered the war's trajectory, the Greek government, led by the astute and visionary Prime Minister Eleftherios Venizelos, offered the Allied powers a full-fledged military alliance. Venizelos, a master of political strategy, recognized the potential for Greece to play a pivotal role in the conflict. His proposal was not just a simple offer of support, it was a calculated gamble that could shift the balance of power.
This alliance, however, came with a crucial caveat, the promise of Constantinople. The ancient city, a jewel of the Byzantine Empire and a strategic linchpin, was coveted by many. For Greece, the acquisition of Constantinople was not just a territorial gain, it was a symbol of national pride and historical justice. The Greek plan was audacious. It required meticulous planning and coordination, involving both land and sea forces. The stakes were incredibly high, and the risks were enormous. Yet, the potential rewards were equally significant. It involved a coordinated land and sea assault on the Ottoman capital. The Greek navy, though not the largest, was well-trained and determined. The plan called for a bold naval maneuver to force the Dardanelles, a narrow strait that was heavily fortified by the Ottomans. The Greek army stationed in Thrace would march on Constantinople, while the allied navies, bolstered by the Greek fleet, would force the Dardanelles. This two-pronged attack was designed to overwhelm the Ottoman defenses and deliver a decisive blow. The potential rewards were immense. The fall of Constantinople would not only cripple the Ottoman war effort, but also secure a vital supply route to Russia. This could potentially change the dynamics of the Eastern Front, providing much-needed support to the Russian forces. The fall of Constantinople would cripple the Ottoman war effort, secure a vital supply route to Russia, and potentially entice Bulgaria, an Ottoman neighbor, to join the Allied cause. Such a shift could have far-reaching implications, potentially hastening the end of the war and reshaping the post-war landscape of Europe and the Middle East. The bold gambit by Greece was a testament to the nation's strategic acumen and its desire to reclaim its historical legacy.
The potential consequences of a successful Greek plan were far-reaching. With Constantinople in Allied hands, the Ottoman Empire would likely have crumbled. The Black Sea, now open to Allied shipping, would have provided Russia with much-needed supplies and potentially averted the revolutions that would later engulf the country. The capture of Constantinople would have been a devastating blow to the Central Powers' morale and could have potentially shortened the war considerably. Moreover, the geopolitical landscape of the post-war world would have been vastly different, with Greece potentially emerging as a major power in the eastern Mediterranean. Section 5. Missed opportunity. Despite the potential benefits, the Greek offer was met with hesitation and ultimately rejection. Internal divisions within the Allied camp, particularly from Russia, which harbored its own ambitions in the region, played a significant role in this decision. Concerns about Greek territorial ambitions and doubts about the capabilities of the Greek military further fueled this reluctance.
This rejection proved to be a fateful decision. The Gallipoli campaign, launched without Greek support, descended into a bloody stalemate, costing thousands of lives and ultimately ending in Allied withdrawal. The Ottoman Empire, though weakened, remained in the war, tying down valuable Allied resources.
Section 6. Shifting sands of influence. The rejection of the Greek plan had profound geopolitical implications. The Ottoman Empire, granted a reprieve, would continue its brutal persecution of the Armenians within its borders, a tragedy that might have been averted with an earlier collapse of the empire.
Russia, isolated and increasingly unstable, would eventually succumb to revolution, altering the balance of power in Europe. Greece, its ambitions frustrated, would become embroiled in its own internal conflicts, further destabilizing the Balkan region. The seeds of future conflicts and resentments were sown, casting a long shadow over the 20th century.
Section 7. Echoes of what might have been. The forgotten Greek plan of 1915 serves as a reminder of the complexities and uncertainties of war. It highlights the crucial role of diplomacy, the fragility of alliances, and the enduring impact of decisions made in the crucible of conflict.
It begs the question, what if the Allied powers had possessed the foresight to accept the Greek offer? Would the horrors of the trenches have been avoided? Would the political map of Europe look different today? These questions, while impossible to answer definitively, fuel our fascination with this forgotten chapter of World War I.
Section 8. A world unshaken. The world of 1915 was one on the brink. The Greek plan, a bold gamble, offered a glimmer of hope, a chance to alter the course of a war that seemed destined to consume a generation. Its rejection, driven by a mix of strategic miscalculations, internal rivalries, and perhaps a lack of imagination, underscores the enduring power of the what-if in history. The world would ultimately endure 4 years of brutal conflict, emerging from the ashes forever scarred. The Greek plan, a footnote in the grand narrative of World War I, stands as a testament to the roads not taken, the possibilities unexplored, and the enduring allure of alternate histories.